Scorpio, welcome to July. Okay, now then I'm working with the Aquarian pack today, so that's good. Hopefully your vision is good and the images will pop for you. Right, Scorpio, let's talk about you. Scorpio, fixed energy, fixed water, a lot of water in the sky, a lot of confusion. Water at the end of the day without containment can be a little bit wild, and I think that as you're moving into July it's very much about that. We have got Saturn in Pisces, of course, another energy, water energy, but obviously much more mutable. So you are a fixed energy, guys, so when you set your mind to it, and let's not forget that scorpionic energy is all about the psychology of the soul, if you get my drift. So we've all been going deep, we've all been looking at what needs to change, whether or not it's us, whether or not we want to morph into something else. But my feelings generally for you guys, you're really going to be looking at your worth, I think. You know, we've got this Venus energy, which is going to be retrograding. Uh, and it's a time, a period now where I feel that certainly from this point we're going to be looking at how we can manage things. So again, work routines, this type of thing, messages coming in, interesting. Wow, there is a situation around. I could look at this and say health, work. Wow, and again, but we are going to crack this nut. So let's have a little look at this Scorpio. Let's have a peek. So yeah, your day-to-day work, situations around you. If you sort of ask the universe or you sent messages out there to an authority, certainly with Pluto, of course, having moved back into Capricorn now, it may well be that you are dealing with authorities. But this is suggesting that there are messages coming in. Or your need to step out of that sometimes fixed energy of that mindset and be a little bit more fluid in your thinking. I feel this is an interesting energy. It does talk about an element of tiredness. The Four of Swords. Um, this need to sort of, I need a break. But as I said to a couple of the signs this month, sometimes we have to get by with a little help from our friends. And of course, we've got such a lot of energy in the sky, but we have got this Venus square Uranus, and we've also got a square to Saturn coming towards. I think that's earlier rather than later this month, guys. Sorry, can't give you the exact on that. But this is very much about if you have had or you've been putting things out there to make these changes for you to ultimately evolve and move beyond the situation you've got at the moment, the restrictions or whatever, whether or not that we work, rest or play, I feel as if we're going to start, we're really moving with it. So I feel with you that you've certainly been growing in confidence and that sort of knowingness that that is what you want to do. And I think you've been moving beyond that, and it's very true. This is great. Um, this Eight of Sword energy, when we look at this upright, what we've got here is we can be paralysed by our own thoughts, we can be our own worst enemy, and there are certainly swords here. Um, and when I was talking to you about worth, knowing your worth, yeah, I could throw that into a monetary situation simply because Venus, of course, rules the second house of Taurus. Um, about values and about monetary value, all right? But sometimes you just got to take a little bit of time out to, if you like, explore that. Am I being valued within the situation? But the thing that's interesting me is this initial card coming out there. Let me just, yeah, new beginning. Wow, the Magician. Wow, and the sunshine. Wow. Again, I feel that this is suggesting there are messages coming in. It certainly could be something pertaining to health. Certainly with Scorpio energy anyway, because Scorpio energy is, on medical level, it's very molecular. Yeah, and I often say that Scorpio can split the atom when it gets stuck in the head. But I do feel there is this freeing up, even though it can be difficult. We've got this five. We do might well be worrying about finances and trying to balance the books a little bit. But what this is saying to me is we can be our own worst enemy. There is a light out there for you guys. And there's a lot of potential, but I'm looking at this thinking, is this a message? If we've applied for a new position, for instance, and we're making that change, if we've sort of decided that we need to dissolve a relationship or any sort of contractual connection, and that can be deep stuff as well. That can be family energies. But because we got Pluto, your guiding light, if you like, he is quite a powerful planet, of course. I want to say, don't be afraid to continue on this journey of transformation, if you like, this transmutable energy. Because to me, Scorpio energy is all about the evolution. I've spoken a lot about that, from the caterpillar to cocoon to the butterfly. And that's scorpionic. It's that metamorphic energy. So you've been going through change. You will continue to go through change. Wow. Woman who's loved and lost, but will love again. Again, overcoming any issues, wonderful. We've got the Empress here. This is beautiful. And this Two of Pentacles, which tells me that we are going to balance things here. So if it is a work balance, if it is a health situation that we're dealing with, it is difficult, I feel, with you, because of your day-to-day work routines. But I think that if you have been reaching out to help or asking someone for help, I think it's very much who you know rather than what you know. And at the end of the day, Scorpio is brilliant at networking. You're really good networkers. We've got this full moon coming in on the 3rd of the month in Capricorn, and bearing in mind that your leading planet Pluto has gone back into Capricorn, so you may have had a bit of a taster. You might have been able to throw off that old skin, but only to a degree, Scorpio, of this last few months. You've been waking up to the fact that something has to change within you, deep within you, for you ultimately to evolve and go forward. But I think what we've got here is this sensation of your planet having moved back into Capricorn, right? So again, it could well be that you are dealing with authorities, and you're waiting on permissions for something, but it may also talk about limitation, all right, where you are feeling very limited in your time, wanting to be a little bit selfish, which would make sense. Capricorn energy is Saturn ruled, and so Saturn also retrograde, but that's not always a bad thing with Saturn in Pisces. So it's almost like, I want to break away. I am going to keep going. But don't fear if you get to a corner on this journey and oops, I feel stuck, I feel limited, I can't go any further. Yes, you can. You've got to just keep moving, keep going forward, take it on a day-to-day level, and take your relationships day-to-day as well. So don't overthink. Anybody thinking about new life, new baby, anything like this, pregnancies, that could well be it. Certainly linking me with new love. This is nice. But there is this real sense of needing to go very, very deep inside. I see this as a meditative energy as well. I want to say that you are going to be okay financially, Scorp. So even though we are in a very, very tricky scenario at the moment, I do feel that, you're going to be okay. Don't forget, we've got the Empress here. And Empress energy is great, actually. Empress energy for me, she is very much about, she has all the ability to do the job that she sets herself. When she sets herself on that road, she will get past the winning post. So it may well be that you haven't had a lot of time for yourself because you've been waiting on this. We've been limited because of this, but this is definitely a breaking through and a going forward. I also see this, as I often see the kings within the sword energies, as advisory. So if this is it, and we've been waiting on messages coming in. We've been making inquiries about something, or again, love interests here, or even the possibility of new life and new pregnancy, certainly. But I do want to say that you are going to be okay financially, and that's important because Scorpio energy is about resources. Um, it is about resources, and it's about digging deep. And if we've sort of run out and we've bottomed out, we cannot be any more resourceful than we've already been, or, then it could well be that we're needing to sort of ultimately get some guidance, all right, and go forward. But if I take it on a love angle, because of course Scorpio's all about that as well, if I take it on a relationship angle, again, I think that you guys, you're going to have to this month um, decide whether or not you do want the relationship, or whether or not you want a relationship, even. All right, and that is also down to the fact that we're going to have this nodal shift from Scorpio and Taurus on the 18th of July in the UK, and that's going to move into Aries and Libra. So Aries, the independent self, the assertive one, the strength of that Mars energy, and Libra, much softer Venus-ruled energies, but also partnerships, relationships. And it could well be that you guys are asking the question, do I want one? Have I got time for one? Do I want to dispense with one? Are we looking at pregnancies and children? Worrying about finances? We are all worrying about finances. It's all relative at the moment, Scorp. But, resources are key to you. But the wonderful thing is, we can dig down. We have got the resources to make things happen this month. And as I say, we have got this full moon coming up. It is in Capricorn, don't forget. Full moons are about eliminating, and Pluto, of course, you're the gaffer of the 8th house, your sign. Ultimately, he is now in Capricorn. And although he is retrograde, it is allowing us to go back, reassess, readdress situations on a slightly more deeper level. And as I said earlier, over these last few months, I think you guys have been working towards this very personal goal of allowing yourself to, get on with your own life, if you know what I mean. And it may well be that there are restrictions now with Capricorn energies. However, I do feel, just take it day to day. I think this eliminating full moon in Capricorn is going to take things a step further for you. The magician energy on the table is solid for me as well. I like it. It's quite scorpionic, Piscean, this sort of energy for me. If you've got all the tools of the trade, if you've done the homework, if you've done what we need to do, we've had a think about it. And, if you needed a bit of rest, for instance, I know a close personal friend who's having to deal with her elderly parents at the moment, Scorpio. It's difficult when she has a very responsible job, so it's very difficult for her to maintain that level of care. So it may well be that we do have to reach out. So moving away from limitation and offer a fresh avenue. So someone's coming to your aid and to your rescue here. A tremendous amount of potential coming forward, which is going to ultimately lift you a little bit. Sun energy, this is great. It's much more positive. So I am feeling there's going to be an uplift for you. Again, this element of the Queen of Swords. You're down but you're not out, guys, with this energy, whoever she is, or if it's you yourself, sword energy, you're going to be able to cut yourself away. You do bring this energy of celebration. There is victory to be had here. Empress energy, as again, does often represent the mother energies, and it may well be that, if you are a Scorpio that's been waiting for baby or waiting for news on something, then I'm certainly feeling you're going to be okay. And I do want to go back to the resource energies here, Scorpio. You are going to be okay financially. So even though we've got this very big balancing act going on. It's all going to be okay. So no fear, go forward, don't fear rejection, don't fear that your ideas or that your, if you want your voice to be heard, this is the time to do it. And don't forget that Scorpio energy is also about drawing a line in the sand. So when we know that we've got to throw the towel in and allow others to come forward, and that could well be what this is about. So if you've been on your own a long time, that could change with the nodal shift. But do you want that relationship? Is it what you want? Do you want to retain your independence, or would you like to go towards a partnership or a relationship? But either way, there is collaboration on the table, and collaboration, I believe, we need it. Otherwise, we don't actually progress, and you guys are all about that this month. I hope that's helped you. Please like, please share, please subscribe, Scorpio. I want to say a huge, huge thank you. I do not know who pressed those buttons for me last month, but 1,500 of you hit on Scorpio, and I was absolutely thrilled. Thank you so much. Makes a massive difference. Really makes my heart dance. And anyway, that's me done, and I'll see you next month. Take care, Scorpio. Going to be an interesting one next month for you guys. Bye now.